Hello and welcome to the show. I'm back on BeamNG Drive with 3 more vehicles taking on the American descent. Starting with a Volkswagen Scirocco. This, the rally spec version of the car. As it has turned out, front-wheel drive has not actually been that bad or a choice in terms of getting down this course. So our Scirocco rally car here might actually stand a pretty good chance of going quickly. Naturally, it is on the, well, mandatory reels as much as we can put them on cars. So we do have some nice off-road rally tyres for the vehicle. We seem to perhaps be struggling a touch in terms of power delivery. If we're in the wrong gear at the wrong time, that sort of turbo lag is a little bit of a killer. Christ, the kilowatt jumps. I mean, we are across the kilowatt jumps relatively nicely in this. Not so nicely off the kilowatt jumps. That was nearly the 3rd car in 3 episodes to go over. I saved this one. I saved this one, but nearly 3 out of 3. We have got a vibrating bonnet. Sure, that's nothing terrible. Up over panorama. I think I might have been too fast on the way in there. No, somehow, amazingly, we have got away with that one. Oh, that snapped. That snapped something in the rear on the landing. That's a goner. Ooh. Ooh, the back of the Scirocco is not a happy shape anymore. Yeah, when we hit that landing, when we hit the first part of the kilowatt jumps, something went in the rear and it was crabbing all over. Well, I say crabbing all over the place. It was certainly not in a healthy position, sort of lining up to take the second part of the kilowatt jumps. I mean, it's very difficult to tell because we've now fallen off the cliff how much was done beforehand, but there was certainly some issues went on with the car. Okay, suspension may be a little weak. This time vibrating roll cage. One part of the Scirocco must vibrate at all times, apparently. Can I get panorama? Oh, there's a lot of speed over panorama. That was too much speed. The first couple of times I've been... Oh, that was a painful one. First couple of times I was kind of relatively cautious. So you think, oh, I can get a bit more. There's not much left of the car to be vibrating this time, I'm going to be honest. That's a nasty one. Up over panorama we go this time. Oh, I was about to say this time making sure we're far enough across. We were not far enough across. It's off panorama we go. We've made an interesting change to the rear. Amazingly, the car is actually relatively okay with all of that. I mean, it's a bit like Clarkson's Citroen. I think it was a Citroen, wasn't it? At the back. Just a little bit. I think we're stuck on the wall now. We can't have a celebratory caravan smash because it's not worth it, but... ouch. That's impressive. Down into the next hairpin we go. Nice tight line through there. Now, don't track the car too much into Sebring. Oh, I completely ballsed that up. I didn't change down soon enough. I was in 3rd when I went to turn in and there was absolutely no drive whatsoever. I was not going as fast as I expected and I was kind of already committed to turning. I mean, that was not good. We've also got a vibrating exhaust this time. The theme continues. Would you like to have a guess at what part of my car is going to end up vibrating on this run? Well, I mean, either we're going to crash off the run and the car will get wrecked, or we'll hit the caravan at the finish line. Either way, there's going to be a crash. So take a guess as to what bit might start vibrating at some point during this run. I think I might. No, I think I've got away with changing up there. Sometimes with sort of the front-wheel drive wheel spin on this dirt, it's a little difficult to tell. Oh, we're going to have the back end moving through the kilowatt jumps. No, it is okay through all of that. It does have a slight tendency towards, I think it's rear locking, perhaps, from all of this. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of rear locking under braking, just back end moving around as you're frantically trying to get the car slowed down. Not necessarily what you want there. The downside of front-wheel drive is not as easy to kind of chuck it into Sebring sideways. It doesn't really... You kind of end up losing a lot of time when you're doing that with a front-wheel drive car. I think I prefer taking a more normal line through that corner. Through, don't cut, we go. Now it is up towards the finish line, towards that caravan. Oh, it's not had a massive drive towards the line. It's into the side of the caravan. It is into the side of the caravan. Not the most spectacular of crashes, and no Scirocco vibrations, it would seem. That's a little bit of a disappointment. Oh, we've lost a wheel axle. That's disappointing, because now we can't even go finish off the caravan. No! Caravan! Well, bump. But yeah. I mean, the Scirocco, pretty nice car. Pretty nice car to drive through a lot of the corners. Decent amount of grip. Brakes are not the best that I've dealt with, but also nowhere near the worst. If you are off boost, though, it is a little bit of a problem around some of these corners. You end up sort of halfway between gears. You know, when you're at that sort of 55-ish mile an hour, are you in second? Are you in third? It's, yeah, perhaps not quite ideal for this particular course, but it's also not slithering around sideways out of corners and wasting huge amounts of time. So, be interesting to see what stage time it has managed. Up next, we have got the Pursue. That is its official name. Yes, we all know that it is actually a Supra. This particular one, though, an interesting car. It is a kind of off-road spec. It's all-wheel drive. Actually comes from standard with our mandatory, well, as mandatory as we can get them, rally tyres on it. And, of course, there is a massive exhaust that surely is not going to last the entire journey. But, it'll certainly fall off a few times at least. But, we're going to give it a try. Now, this I expect to be significantly faster in the old acceleration department than the, yeah, okay, it's pretty damn fast. It's definitely got quicker accelerating than the Scirocco, but that's not a surprise. Much bigger engine, much more powerful engine in this. Christ, it is fast. It's so fast we're going to have a very, very big accident if we are not careful. That's very much just held on for dear life. Try and slow you down as we go up over Panorama. I don't know if we've got the grip to get away with this over Panorama. We're probably not going to have the grip to get away with this through the kilowatt jumps. Oh, we have got away with it, but it is broken. I can't believe we did actually get away with that, but we got away with landing it, but when your wheel is at that angle, that is not going to be conducive for a good lap time further down. It's far too sensible for a first run. Hold on, I spot a bit of cliff that's more like it. Sorted. Perfect. Can we get it stopped? So we do get it stopped for Hammond's hairpin. I mean, it's perhaps a little bit cheeky on the inside there, but you can really mash the power out the other side. Now, Panorama. Oh, I'm sliding too much on the way up into Panorama. There's no saving that one. Oh, it's a good flip. Very good flip, actually, for the car. We're going to continue to cartwheel, land on the nose again and again and again until we eventually come to a rest. Oh, in the middle. Oh, we found a tree to park the back of our car on. Damn. I actually thought I'd got Panorama okay. We just sort of... It wasn't even oversteer, it's kind of neutral steer, just not enough grip that I asked, and yeah, we slid our way off the course. We are very, very sideways out of Hammond's hairpin, and that's not what I really want to be doing. This is ridiculous. Will you please not be going? Oh, okay. It's a very sideways car, and while things were going okay for a little while, like the sidewaysness was actually working, surprisingly, it then very quickly stopped working. Panorama, kilowatt jumps, not somewhere you want to be tackling sideways. Hairpins, fine, they work. Okay, second gear doesn't quite work 100% out of the hairpins, although that little sort of split second as it spools up the turbo does actually work out fairly well. Oh no, kilowatt jumps have all gone wrong. The first part of that I could see it going wrong and just nope. Wasn't going to be able to steer out of it. Okay, let's not go for too much oversteer. That's all this car really wants to be doing down here, but if we could have less of the slidey-slideys that would be very helpful. More of the accelerators and then maybe the panic and brakies and throw the car around. Okay, we're going to go for a little bit on the exit here because I wasn't really stopping that in a normal manner, so we have to kind of chuck it into the hairpin. The brakes aren't, well, I said the brakes aren't great. The brakes are probably average, but when it's attached to a car this fast, they feel like they are not very good. So we've definitely got to be mindful, or we just end up chucking the car sideways into all of these corners, because we can chuck it sideways and boot it out the other side, and we know that that will hopefully work. There we go, see, around the hairpin nicely does it this time. We're not going to get things as badly wrong through Sebring. We still bounce across a little bit. It's sort of inevitable you're going to end up bouncing across Sebring a touch. Can we get you chucked in? That is such a horrible braking zone for these faster cars. It's really not a pleasant place to try and slow a car down for. Up through, or down through, don't cut, I should say. We're a little wide on the exit, but I think we can get away with that. It is fly towards the line. That's 83 miles an hour into the caravan. That's a lot of speed into the side of the caravan. I think that's actually quicker than the electric Covert managed. There's a massive monstrous acceleration in this thing. Which is certainly good. Monstrous acceleration, good traction, a very lively car. Makes it a lot of fun. Not the easiest. Not the easiest. And I mean, all-wheel drive, we can get away a little bit with it being livelier, and that can help in places. This might be a touch on the too lively side, although I think that's to do with the tremendous level of power that we have going on. Should be interesting to see where it's going to end up. The final vehicle to run down the course today is the DH Outlaw. If anything stands a chance, perhaps not of beating the Formula 1 car, certainly this is in contention for second place. Down this course, it is massively powerful. It is all-wheel drive. I can't put it on the controlled tyres because it's kind of a weird special vehicle, but yeah, huge power, all-wheel drive, designed for off-roading. This is the four-wheel drive rally spec of the vehicle. This is the sort of, well, monster that you would want on a stage like this. So let's unleash the machine and see what we can manage out of it. I'm hoping for less oversteer than we got from the Pursue. I might have turned in a little bit too late though for that corner. Well, oh, not quite a tree flag. Oh, disappointing indeed. Well, we didn't quite have as much grip as I was perhaps expecting from the car. Got to be a little bit mindful through here. You can't quite. Yeah, there's quite a lot of understeer going on. That's an alarming amount of understeer going on. I think we're still front wheel drive. Kind of. We've eaten our wing, and that's never good. It's never good when you eat your own wing. I didn't expect it to be quite understeery and severely struggling with brake performance. It is very quick accelerating, do not get me wrong. Supercharged V8s are often the way to go in this game for ludicrous levels of performance. Oh no, there goes a rear wheel. Ow! That's just torn that wheel clean off. I mean, yeah, it's quick. Well, actually, the wheel's kind of sat in a healthier position. It's quick, but this is not easy to drive down here at all. I'm hoping the brutal acceleration might still be enough to see us through the course, to see us get a half-decent time. That's not stopping, that's not stopping. Grab the handbrake. No! So that last-ditch effort to try and save the car when it's all gone wrong, and we almost got away with it, just not quite. Across the kilowatt jumps we go. Now we're likely to lose the front sort of spoiler bit. Oh, front spoilers. Front spoiler has stuffed us because it fell underneath the wheels. Fell underneath the wheels and I couldn't steer. Thanks for that, car. That's just what I needed. As strange, I say strange, as much as I didn't expect to be saying this, but if we're going to get this, well, get this car to the bottom of the mountain, it's going to be a very carefully does it job. It's going to be quite a tentative run. It's not necessarily going to look spectacular, but I think it's just about the only option I've got. We simply do not have the grip in this car. We can get up to some good acceleration up towards Panorama there. I mean, 74 odd miles an hour is bloody fast. However, yeah, that's kind of all we're good for. When it comes to the corners, it is quite the handful. Oh, there goes the wing. And go for that. It was trapped a little bit. We carried it a little bit of the way. Carefully does it down into this hairpin, because I do not trust this vehicle one bit. Through Sebring we go. Again, it's going to be a little bit sideways. Get on the power, out the other side. It'll be another big acceleration zone, but another nice controlled stop into the hairpin. God, even then I thought I was okay for that hairpin, but nope, it's just there's no grip. You can see it struggling even out of these corners. Now we should be monstrous here if we can get that power down, that run towards the line. 82 miles an hour as we shatter the caravan everywhere. One of our wheels made it somewhere over in that direction. Quite a long way actually over in that direction. Shall we go visit it? Wheel, come here. Hello. Oh, almost recaught you. If you would be so kind as to reattach. Oh, it's fallen over. Never mind. We found the wheel. Cry, we got caravan bits pretty far. Look at that. That doesn't even have the advantage of bouncing and rolling, which fired the bog window. It's not even the bog window, it's the door. How did the door get that far? I thought it was like the top of the toilet bit, but no, that is just the door. The door made it further than my own car's wheel. That's a strange and sorry state of affairs. Anyway, yeah, the Outlaw. A brutal machine, and it is very quick accelerating. However, as such a handful through the corners. It really does not have the level of grip that I expected. You end up having to be pretty damn cautious on your way down the mountain. Question is, just how much of that brutal acceleration, how much time will that have made up for? On to the results, and it is a very impressive time from the Pursuit. It moves up into 5th place, a 109.6. It is pretty damn close with the Abora, with the Sunburst rally car, but yeah, giving a sub 1 minute 10 is a very, very good time down here. So yeah, to have gone that quick for a car, while okay, it is a rally spec vehicle, if you like, yeah, I mean, that's a dang time. It's only a couple of seconds away from the RG Trophy and RG Vortex, the two kind of big off-road racing buggies and trucks. So, yeah, impressed with that time. We do have to go a little bit further down to find the Outlaw. It's in 17th place, a 113.9. Again, this, another very crowded area of the table. I mean, it's only 0.03 of a second down on the off-road D-Series. It is monstrously fast accelerating, that is for sure. But through the corners, it struggles. It struggles a lot. It really doesn't turn in very well at all, so you've got to be very, very careful. And the brakes are a bit funny as well. So put all that together, and that's kind of about the sort of time I was expecting to see. We then have to go a fair bit further down to find the Scirocco. It is in 31st place, 17.6. Again, we're talking only 300th slower than the Grand Marshal. I'll be honest, kind of watching back the footage, I did make a little bit of a mess of the final corner. Yeah, I wasn't quite at the right gear, and when you're in the wrong gear with the Scirocco, you are in a fair bit of trouble. That will have costed a bit of time. I didn't realise sort of when driving quite how wonky I had been with that. But yeah, it's a decent car, but it does struggle a little bit with just a general overall lack of power. That, though, is going to be it for this episode. As ever, I shall link all the mods used in the description so you can download them, have a go with them yourself. But that's going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.